The Tale of Whisker, the Cat, and Squeaky the Mouse. Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a lush forest, lived two unlikely friends, Whisker the Cat and Squeaky the Mouse. Though their friendship seemed odd to most, they had an understanding. They would team up to find food in the dense woods. But Whisker had a sly streak, and today, his cunning would come to light. The packed one crisp morning, as the sun rose above the forest canopy, Whisker stretched lazily and approached Squeaky. "Friend Mouse," he said with a purr, "today we shall embark on a grand hunt. With our combined skills, we can feast like kings." Squeaky twitched his whiskers nervously. "What's the catch, Whisker? You're not planning anything, are you?" "Of course not," Whisker replied, his green eyes sparkling mischievously. "We'll share everything equally. Trust me, the hunt begins." The two set off, navigating through thick ferns and leaping over mossy logs. Squeaky used his tiny size to sneak into tight spots, scaring out birds and insects. Whisker, with his sharp claws and swift reflexes, pounced and caught the prey. "Teamwork!" Whisker exclaimed as he caught a fat grasshopper. "See how perfect we are together?" Squeaky nodded, feeling a sense of accomplishment. The first trick. After a while, they stumbled upon a tree laden with ripe fruit. Whisker climbed up nimbly and began tossing fruits down to Squeaky. But as Squeaky turned to collect them, Whisker sneakily ate the juiciest ones himself. "Hey, this one's too sour," Whisker called down, tossing another fruit. "You can have it." Squeaky, oblivious, thanked him. The river crossing. Soon, they reached a sparkling river filled with fish. Whisker grinned. "We'll catch some fish for our feast." "Great idea," Squeaky squeaked. But as the mouse carefully crafted a tiny net from nearby grass, Whisker dove in, catching fish with his claws. He pretended to struggle, letting the smaller fish go. "I'll save the best ones for us," Whisker said, setting aside the plumpest catch. The grand feast. When the day was done, they found a cozy hollow in an old tree trunk. Squeaky looked at the pile of food they had gathered, fruits, insects, and fish. "Let's divide it equally," he said. "Of course," Whisker replied. He began dividing the food but subtly kept the largest portions for himself. By the time Squeaky realized, it was too late. Whisker had already devoured most of the feast. The mouse's revenge Squeaky, feeling cheated, decided to play his own trick. The next morning, he found a patch of mushrooms and told Whisker they were delicious. The cat greedily ate them, not realizing they were bitter and inedible. Whisker spent the rest of the day regretting his gluttony. From that day on, Squeaky was more cautious, and Whisker, though still sly, learned not to underestimate his tiny friend. This tale of Whisker and Squeaky reminds us that even the clever can be outsmarted, and trust is a two-way street.